Hello, this is Marco Vogt from www.houseinvestigations.com. Do you smell? I certainly hope not. Unfortunately, hundreds of thousands of people smell musty or like mildew and do not even know it. For all you factual people, hundreds of thousands means a lot of people, okay? Anyways, we're not talking about old people's smell, overprescribed people who ooze chemical odors, cat urine smell, which could simply be on your socks or shoes. We are not talking about bad breath or gum disease odor, and we're certainly not talking about body or perspiration odor. What we are talking about is the distinct, moldy, musty odor that is caused by a home that has hidden moisture and mold problems. Most people who have this type of odor do not even know they stink. They take a shower, brush their teeth, and use deodorant every morning. At this point, they are clean and probably do not smell. Now they go to their clothes closet and put on some clothes, and the stinking begins. So now they leave their homes and go to work. While walking over to the elevator to their office, they see a group of their colleagues talking. They walk over to this group. The group notices Stinky Sally walking over to them, and they begin to whisper, "Boy, that Sally really stinks. It's your turn to take her to lunch." Everybody in the office knows Sally stinks, except for Sally. Poor Sally. She has a great job. She looks great, but she smells. What happened to Sally happens to thousands of people every day. The clothes in their closets are like giant filters. The clothes filter out the MVOCs, which are microbial volatile organic compounds, and mold spores. Mold spores are generally large, that range between 2 and 50 microns. These large spores get stuck in your clothes. These large spores get stuck in your nose hairs. This is why you can notice this musty, moldy odor right away. Wealthy people, clothes shoppers, and people with obsessive-compulsive disorders tend to have a higher probability of stinkiness. This is because they have more clothes. Okay, so I made up a word. If you have 300 sweaters, and some sweaters are not worn for 300 days, they will sit in your closet. Think about this lonely little sweater stuck in a filled-up clothes closet, suffocating, absorbing mold spore-infested air for 300 days. It will stink. One of my clients called me from their doctor's office. The doctor told them they smell. So I told my client to put the clothes she was wearing into a large sealed garbage bag. When I arrived at her home to perform a residential forensic investigation, I included testing the air in the bag with her clothes. I also tested the wet, nasty, hidden crawl space I found. Laboratory analysis proved that the same genus mold species existed in the clothes bag as did in the wet, musty, moldy crawl space. By the way, the wet crawl space was below a newer home addition that was built wrong. The brick lacked weep holes, the grating was poor, the door frame leaked, and Mr. Long's sprinkler head was too close to the foundation. The perimeter hidden wood band joists in the crawl space were rotting. The walls were sweating, and the crawl space had no vapor barrier. Rotting wood means mold. Mold means airborne mold spores and MVOCs. This means musty mold odor. Additionally, the HVAC cold air return ductwork was traveling through this nasty wet crawl space. Did you know that most cold air returns are not sealed? This means these little teeny holes suck air from wherever they travel. So the cold air returns were sucking air from this crawl space and dispersing it into the home's air. Her closets were filled with clothes. The clothes absorbed this musty odor. Do you ever enter a cabin that has been closed up? Right when you walk into this cabin, you get hit with the old cabin closed up, musty smell. You think this is normal, and within 15 seconds you become used to it. Wrong. You have now just become a magnet for attraction of millions of mold spores and microbial organic compounds. You are now a walking, breathing filter. You will smell. No different than when you sit next to a smoker. You will smell like smoke. I'm quite sure that many of you entered people's homes that have a musty odor. As mentioned earlier, you smell it at the exact second you enter the front door. If you see mold, you smell mold, you pretty much have mold. As of August of 2007, I've inspected roughly 10,000 homes. When I inspect the exterior of the home, I clear my nose, so when I initially walk into the front door, I'm 100% focused on my first breath of nose air. This odor will tell me many things about this home. If it smells musty, I need to find the moisture generator. Some common moisture generators are vented crawl spaces that permit moist, humid air to enter and permit crawl space condensation. Dryer vents that are vented into attics, basements, and crawls. Ventless gas-burning appliances that release water vapor as a byproduct. Leaking foundations, leaking roofs, leaking facades, mold behind drywall, improper use of vapor barriers, and much more. Find the water source and stop it. Remove the rot and remove the mold. And go out and buy a condensing dehumidifier. Additionally, nobody needs 300 sweaters. After all, there are only 3 major colors and only 20 different shades. If I inspect the home and find 20 blue sweaters for one woman, and this 20 blue sweater home has several big dogs, these sweaters will probably smell like dog. I guess now I have to go out and make a video called You Smell Like Your Dog. This is Marco Volk from www.houseinvestigations.com. Please visit my website for more good information and more movies. Thank you and have a nice smelly day.